Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. It is Thursday, the 21st of March, and it's going to be looks like it's going to be a pretty day today. They call them maybe a little bit of rain on Saturday, but you know they've been wrong a lot of times, so we're going to hope they're going to be wrong this time. But anyway, today high 64, low tonight 46. It's still cool. It's still cool. Water temperature 64. Now about 3 or 4 days in a row, this water temperature is going up 1 degree. It's been 61, now it's up to 64. And I've got some currents and some thermals to show you a little bit later on, a little slide of that. And it's just fascinating watching this if you're into that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are, obviously, these cobia fishermen. I read their posts on a daily basis, and they're excited. There has been one cobia caught over in Pensacola. I saw a little picture of it, like a little 34-pounder. It wasn't very big, but there was one caught in Pensacola. And you know, each year they catch one over that west of us before we get one here, and I'll show you the reason for that a little bit later in the show. But anyway, the river readings. Take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola at Blountstown is finally going to level off, but it's still going to be high water. It's at 12 foot even, and it's going to be that way on through Friday and Saturday, and we'll have some good action from it back in the backwaters. I promise you there'll be some good backwater fishing this weekend on the big river. The Choctawhatchee at Kerrville, it's actually going up just a little bit, reading a 9.2 this morning, but now Friday night it's going to start dropping and drop on out, but then we'll see what that rain does to their forecasting. If it's up north, up there in South Alabama and all, it'll bounce right back up there, so keep an eye on it. Taking a look at our tide chart, again, today is the 21st of March, and we still have some really good tides. Now we're looking at our full moon is going to be next Wednesday. You'll have a couple of neat tide days right there before that. But anyway, on the 21st, we're looking at a low tide at 3:31 and a high tide at 5:26. And the marine forecast, it's going to be blowing. It's blown every day in March. I mean, every day this month. I've kept a record of it every day. Northwest at 10 to 15. Northwest at 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4, and usually you can just add those together and say 6 foot. But yesterday was the beginning of the spring solstice, and this is really fascinating to me. It's always on March 20th to 21st, the first day of spring, and taking a look at it, the moon, the sun is actually, of course the sun's always there in the middle, but we're closer to it now, but we're actually tilted. All winter now we've been tilted away. Okay, and now we're going to start tilting toward the sun. That's why it's going to, even though we're going further away, we're going to be tilted toward the sun in the northern hemisphere. So the spring equinox is going on as we speak, and so each day a little bit longer. Each day will be tilted a little bit more toward the sun, and that's you'll be thinking about that a lot in July and August, and wondering where those cool days we had in February and even March. Okay. All right, that takes care of our weather. I did try to call Blair Morgan. I can't find him. He's up in the woods or either out on his boat. I've called his house and also called his place up in the woods. So I'll try to get a hold of Blair sometime today and get a report for blue water outriggers down in Port St. Joe. And we'll take this break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. You know, folks always ask me, Coach, where to go fishing, when to go fishing, and what do I use fishing and all. And I try to give the best answers I can. And today I want to show you some places. People redfish, we talked about it the other day, in different places in the inshore system. They'll go up in the flats and fish, or they'll go out there and try to find some deep holes, or a lot of people like to dock fish for redfish, and it's not maybe as glamorous as some situation, but it's really some good fishing, fishing for redfish around the docks. I'm going to show you some docks here in Panama City and St. Andrew Bay that are really good for holding redfish on an incoming tide. Okay, so we're going to zoom in right here. This is an excellent place to go. This is between I'm going into towards St. Andrew. Okay, I'll try to keep everything in the middle of the screen when I'm talking about it. All right, so we're going to come in this area right here. Okay, here's St. Andrew. There's a St. Andrew Marina right in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to go to the east now. Okay, and now I want you to look at, that's Wares Point. Okay, we're going to show you these docks. I'm going to just go down the line to these docks. Excellent docks. Of course, the further they stick out, usually the deeper water, of course, they're in, and usually. But this set of docks right here, between St. Andrew Marina and going on down toward Huntington and all, down West Beach Drive, excellent fishing for redfish. Okay, we're going to. A lot of times you don't realize there's that many redfish in there. You don't realize that many docks in there. Okay. Here's the Landmark Apartments right here in the center. I want you to look at that channel that goes into Landmark Apartments. Okay. Then you start West Beach Drive. You start running out of docks right there. But this little stretch of docks between Landmark and St. Andrew, excellent red fishing right in there, especially on the incoming tide. Okay. And then, of course, I can show you several other places, and I will later, but I just wanted to concentrate on this one area right now. And, of course, right across the water, I do want to show you Redfish Point right there, Redfish Point. And it didn't get its name because of people just like the word redfish. They caught a lot of redfish off Redfish Point and going into Smack Bayou. So that's a couple places to go right there when you're going red fishing, okay? And there are a lot more, but I just wanted to show you some good spot you might want to concentrate on for the weekend and all. Now, we want to start looking at some areas that, we're right on the verge of some really good surf fishing, and I'm excited about it. And we get spring break coming up next week, and we're going to put our toes in the water and see how it feels. Right now it's still a little cool, but I want to show you some of the top spots where to fish surf fishing in the Florida Panhandle. It's always been fascinating to me, and I fished I fished every one of these spots over the years. I sort of concentrated late years into some of these, just one or two spots. But one of my favorite, I'm going to start on the eastern end of our viewing area, and we're going to work our way out to the west. I started to do the top 10, but I made it top 11. So you see the location we're going. We're going to start way down at the eastern end at St. George Island. I've got a picture. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to try to show you a picture of each one. This is St. George Island State Park. Now listen, if you're trying to get a reservation for April, they're full. But now you can still go down there and fish, but as far as camping and all, they're full. But that's a good beach line right there, and that's an excellent place to go to start off fishing right there. Okay, the second place I'm going to show you will be Indian Pass. And I know you've seen me time and time again with videos coming out of Indian Pass. You have your boat ramp, and if you just come up from the boat ramp a little bit, the boat ramp is usually pretty. Boat ramp is right here, and the fish is excellent. See that little X? I already put an X right there. That's the spot right there to catch a lot of whiting and a lot of flounder when they're moving. Indian Pass, you can just drive down to it and walk out a little bit. Beautiful area, looking right across there at St. Vincent Island. Now, one of my all-time favorites, of course, would be the Stump hole. Of course, it changes every year. And it's changed this year. It's changed since this picture was taken last year. But right there, now you can park. In the past, you had to park. Now you can park up in this area right in here. And people are now fishing this area here because there's not really anywhere to fish off the rocks here. But there's getting to be a deep hole right in here, too. I've noticed on a regular basis, I've been checking it. A nice deep hole there. All right, let's move on down, working our way west. Mexico Beach. Mexico Beach, we always have surf fishermen out there and always getting good reports from Mexico Beach. You just park right beside the road and walk down a little short walk. Again, a great place to go. Tyndall Beach on the east end of Tyndall Beach. That's sort of close to, that's literally right before you get off the Tyndall Reservation, right close to the Mexico Beach city limit sign. You can park down there. I've caught some really good pompano. I've done some excellent pompano fishing at the Tyndall Beach. And when I went down there, I would walk out, park right there and walk out, and I walk down this direction here toward the end. I walked westwardly, and I've had really good luck right there. And then we're going down to the St. Andrews. Come on down to Panama City, to the St. Andrews State Park, and we talk about it all the time. And you know the places to fish there, Deepwater Point, the jetties, the piers, and you can also fish in the surf. Excellent fishing right there. Moving on west, Camp Helen, right across up Phillips Inlet. Now you got this one. The only drawback on this one, you have a long walk. That's probably the longest walk you're going to have. But you'll be rewarded with some excellent fishing and a lot of solitude in here. A lot of people don't fish that area because of the long walk. So Camp Helen State Park. All right, let's move on. Now I've caught some nice pompano right here, Grayton Beach State Park, and it's amazing how close you are to some of the shopping and people and all kind of stuff right there. But you can really, it's going to be crowded on weekends, so this is probably one of the most crowded places you're going to fish. But you can find a spot and good pompano fishing right in there. I promise you we'll be getting some good reports. People don't talk a lot about Topsail Hill State Park, but it is good, beautiful place. We're so fortunate and blessed that the state owns some of that property right in there. But Topsail Hill State Park, and then all the way down again, right in the middle of Destin, on Henderson Beach State Park, you can park. It's a little crowded there, but it's a little campground and good fishing area. It used to be sort of isolated years ago. And don't forget the DESTIN jetties, just like our own jetties. The DESTIN jetties is a good place to fish right in there. We always get good reports from DESTIN jetties, okay? That's the top 11 places to surf fish in the Florida Panhandle in our viewing area. And all those places, when the fish are biting, I promise you, you're going to catch some there. But even this next week, I know next week I'm going to try a couple places. So if you get a chance to try some this weekend or next weekend for sure, there'll be some pompano and some whiting and flounder and redfish caught in those places, I promise you. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Jeff was telling me that walk at Topsail Hill State Park is a long walk too. That's one spot I hadn't fished. I fished 10 out of 11 spots, but I had not fished that area right there. I fished the area, but I didn't walk in from the state park. We came in from another way years ago. So that is a long walk. Got a couple of spots where it's long walks, okay? But anyway, it's worth it if you're catching some nice fish. I wanted to also clarify, when I tell you about this first cobia and all this is hearsay, and every year we get this situation. So-and-so, I heard so-and-so caught one. I remember 2 years ago, a guy brought in the first cobia. When we found out about it, we had a picture of it, found out about it, he caught it about 20-something miles out off a wreck. And so it technically was the first cobia, but really we're talking about one caught from a pier or right inshore or something. So right now, that's just hearsay. They caught one in Pensacola. We haven't seen a picture or anything, but we do know they caught a king mackerel, like 11.5 pound king mackerel off the Pensacola Beach Pier. We have pictures of that we'll show you. So, it's right on the verge. I keep telling you all that, but I promise you. Let's take a look at a couple of these pictures here. I showed this the other day, but I didn't get a chance to give you the details. Doug Lurie has built this platform. Check this out. Here's a better picture of it right here. Now, he's selling this. Doug, what he's doing, he's got one on the front of his boat now, so he doesn't need it. He's bringing his boat down. Doug's from out of town, of course. He comes down here a lot. This attachment, not the poling platform, but just the attachment, he's going to sell it for $50, and his number is 233-1683, and his cell number is 618-8043. And really, this is a very good idea right here. If you could just, it's very safe and all if you have a poling platform, need something like that back there, okay? Now, a couple more pictures. Now I'm really proud of this picture here. There's a story behind this picture. This is my little granddaughter Whitney. Y'all know her. It's amazing. She's growing up. But she and her dad and John Rush went Monday night on a hog hunting. This is a big old hog that she was able to shoot Monday night. There's a great story behind it. John did a video, but I did want to go ahead and break the news on the picture and all, and she was happy she could be. And there's quite a story there. I'm not going to tell the story. John's going to tell the story later on, but it's a good story and one that they'll remember for, I think, the rest of their lives. They're going to remember that hog hunting trip, and we're going to give you the details on it. Went with a guide, and we're going to tell you all about it later on. Okay, let's look at some of these, just quickly, some thermals. I'm always talking about these thermals and all, and I'm going to show you two. This is March the 19th. You can see, you sort of have to zero in where we are, but the water is still cool. We've got some warm water coming our way. Well, what was interesting, right in the middle of the screen, there's a break of cold, there's a cold stream like a river that breaks up a really hot area of water. It's fascinating watching that. That was March the 19th. I'm going to go back to the 16th, and this is a little bit closer of a shot, but you see on the 16th, we're still having low 60-degree water all through the area, but over there's a little glimmer over there toward Choctawhatchee Bay, between us and Choctawhatchee Bay, of warm water, okay? Now, I want to mention this right here, Mexico Beach. One of our good inform us as far as telling us what's going on in Mexico Beach is Captain Mitch Coleman. And he's put together a little special, and this is a good idea here. This special is Mexico Beach Florida Days Adventures. That's Captain Mitch Coleman's boat. He's going to do a 3-hour Spanish mackerel trolling trip for $275, and he'll take 4 people. And you break that down and then divide the amount of money you're going to spend for gas and bait and all that. This is a good deal, folks. You want to get 3 or 4 of y'all, or some of you college students are down for spring break. This is really good. 3 hours out there, you're going to go out and troll, I'm sure, by the buoy line and some place out by the Cape Point, and you'll get some. That's a good trip. $275 for 4 people. 896-4930. So give Mitch Coleman a call. Mitch is really good about sending in reports on a regular basis on what's going on down in the Mexico Beach area. Okay. Now, Scott Lindsay sent this picture to me. His sister's a big turkey hunter, and she says had a decoy out in the cow pasture. And here's what happens. After she left the decoy out there and came back later, and the cow, I don't know if you can see the decoy right in the middle of the, right at the nose. They're nosing that thing around, bumping it around, trying to get it to move and all. But I thought that was funny right there if you leave your decoy out in the field. So that's catches up on our pictures now. I want to mention this real quick before we go to break. We had a little technical glitch yesterday, and I was cut off right in the middle of my presentation, asking you all for help on our spring promotion here in Panhandle Outdoors. But I didn't get it finished. So one of the things I made a list of some places that maybe want to advertise, and maybe you might know some of these places. We need a lawyer, we need a builder, someone in the medical industry. All this was cut off. I'd done this before, but it was cut off yesterday. A boat company, plumber, carpet company, restaurants, and I go on and on. And also, we need some sponsors. We've got some great viewers up in Marianna and Defuniak Springs and in those areas. If you know any of those businesses that want to advertise here in Panhandle Outdoors, we're doing our spring promotion for the next couple of weeks. We'll do a promotion in the spring and a promotion in the fall, trying to get advertisers and keep things rolling here on Panhandle Outdoors. So if you can help us on that, call me and I'll go by and see them, or John Rushman will go by and see them, and we'll talk to them, and I feel like we'll all benefit from it, and we'll keep bringing you America's only daily outdoor TV show. Really enjoy doing it, and we get a lot of feedback where I think it helps our community, and it's something positive, and it's good news every morning, okay? Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. Let's do our fish and game forecast. So my desk was clean when I came in this morning, but our fish and game forecast, I'm just going to hold it right here, brought to us by Mark Cowart. We're looking at our times this morning at, let's see, where are my times? 8:14 to 10:14 this morning, and 8:38 to 10:36 tonight. All right, brought to us by Mark Cowart. If you need any real estate needs between Destin and St. George Island, you give Mark a call. Mark's a good guy. He really is. Loves the outdoors, a family man, and just we're glad to have him part of Panhandle Outdoors team. Let's look at some of these pictures. I haven't got around these yet. Captain Billy Barlow, I fish with Bill. He's a good fisherman. His niece and her friends came down from a college out in Texas for spring break, and he took them fishing up, and if you can guess that location, that is the Steam Plant Canal, and they had, we'll start off with, I'll give you the name. I don't know if these are in order, but check this out, folks. With the tarpon, that's Katrina Courtney with a tarpon, okay? Right, isn't that amazing? They were tickled with it. Katrina Courtney, let's see, we had Mackenzie, had a snapper. Well, I'm sorry, it's Katrina and Courtney, Leanne, and Mackenzie. That's their names. Okay. Katrina Courtney was holding a tarpon. Leanne had the hoodie on, and okay, that's it right there. Okay. But that's a good job, Captain Bill Barlow. He's got his captain license and a good fisherman there. And those girls came down from spring break, and they had a great time and all. I'm going to run out of time. I always run out of time. I was going to show you some places to go to where the Spanish should be this weekend, and maybe on the show tomorrow, when we do our fishing report tomorrow, I'll show you some locations and all. One of the things on binoculars, I'm going to give these binoculars away pretty soon, the next week or two on Panhandle Outdoors, so make sure you've registered. If you haven't registered now, like I tell you, we're going to give stuff away on a regular basis. Tomorrow we'll be giving away a $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Rock Seafood and also Red Snapper. But a lot of times you get these numbers, like the power, this is a 10 by 42, you see it on the screen, 10 by 42, and people want to know, well, what do those numbers mean, okay? 10 is a magnification of it, okay? It's going to be 10 times closer to you, okay? 8 by 30, that's 8 times closer and whatever. The second number, we're 42, that's in millimeters. That's going to be the width of the outer lens right there. That's, you know, that's important. Now, the larger the number, the more light that it brings in. And then you also have something called a field. I don't know what this one says. Field of view. This is 300 feet at 1,000 yards. So at 1,000 yards, it's going to make it seem like it's 303 feet away from you. So those numbers are very important when you're looking for binoculars. Now, a lot of people say just get really big ones, but keep in mind when you get really big ones, they're going to be shaky and all. So really, 7 by 35, something like that, is good for, you know, in general. I've always had something like those. So 10 by 42 is good, but you really have to prop yourself up and really be still and be steady. And of course, spotting scopes works good and all too. But anyway, one of the most important things though is try them out. This is a good brand. Simmons is an excellent brand here. And a lot of people enjoy just wildlife viewing. That is a great, and I tell my students, you know, that's just something good to walk through the woods with binoculars and all, looking for game. A lot of times you see game far away, you're not going to be able to get close to them, and also birds and all. And keep in mind, the smaller the lens, usually the easier they are to hold. And some of these bird watchers use these small ones and all. And by the way, we're going to try to get our Birdman to come on like we did last year. We got a lot of good reports on that show. So the birds are really taking off. I don't know about y'all, but our feet are just full of birds. So anyway, so if you get a good pair of binoculars, get a good brand and all that, we're going to give this away probably next week sometime on Panhandle Outdoors. So all right, we've run out of time. We've got all kinds of things still written down here to talk about, but I'm not going to have enough time. Tomorrow we'll have Brad coming on, and we're going to do a famous Friday fishing forecast. And next week we'll have some great videos they're really going to enjoy. Now we've got to wrap it up. I want to thank you all so much for watching our show, and you be sure and do something good for your fellow man today, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.